Hello again, and thank you for returning to watch part 2 of my For Sale by Owner series on the Jedico Properties YouTube channel. If you happen to be new to the Jedico Properties YouTube channel, thanks for stopping by. My name is Rick Miller, and I'm a realtor. For Sale by Owner might seem like an odd topic for a realtor to post, but the Jedico Properties YouTube channel is dedicated to helping everyone interested in real estate maximize their buying and selling opportunities so that they can make the best decisions for themselves and their family. In this part 2 of the For Sale by Owner series, we are going to discuss mortgages, marketing, pre-listing inspections, and negotiating, and what you can do to prepare in order to improve your chances at success. So we've got a lot to cover, and let's get right to it. Number one, let's start. To start, I want you to study different mortgage types. Doing so will help you interpret the offers you receive. Not all offers are the same. Different loans require different things from the seller, and then different things from the buyer as well. Different loan types have different contingencies that must be met. Some loan types have different kinds of inspections and appraisals. Sometimes the highest offer isn't always the best offer. That disparity is often driven by the loan type. You need to know how to pull those offers apart and know what to look for. Next is marketing. There are costs associated with marketing any home. Professional photos make a huge difference. Use those photos in your marketing campaign. You need to get the word out. A sign in the front yard is important, but in today's real world of real estate, social media is king. If a buyer sees your sign, and the first thing that they're going to do is they're going to look online at your photos. If there are no photos, no social media presence, there's not going to be any buyers. Serious agents are marketing junkies, and this is often what separates them apart. They have big buyer databases, are constantly talking to other agents and pushing their listings, and aggressively utilizing social media. But that does not mean that you can't do the same thing. You too have access to social media. Although only an agent can list a property in MLS, which also feeds all the major real estate websites, there are popular sites you too can list your property through for a fee. Listing on the MLS makes it easier for potential buyers to find your home and to learn more about it before they book a showing. Truth be told, there is no magic bullet that I have access to that a non-realtor has access to. The difference all comes down to time, energy, resources, and expertise. If you too have the time to devote to it, I say go for it. I want to also be honest with you about for sale by owner in general. Typically, for sale by owners are ignored by agents. It's not fair, may not be right, but I'm just being honest with you, and this is why. Agents are paid only on commission after the closing occurs. If a for sale by owner is refusing to pay a commission, very few agents are motivated to show the property to their client. My recommendation is to not limit your audience. A few agents will call you, be ready for their questions about commissions. And when you're buying a home in a competitive market, your offers might get more attention if you're willing to work with a buyer's real estate agent. As the seller, you could agree to raise the list price a little to compensate for a buyer's agent fee, but decide ahead of time whether you are willing to pay an agent to bring you a buyer. You might be wondering, how much do I pay them? I think this has a lot to do with your listing price point, how much you have done in advance to prepare for sale and attract buyers, and how much you're going to rely on the buyer's agent to help you through close. But for argument purposes, I think a range from 1.75 to 2.5% is fair. I might receive some criticism for this, but it's just my opinion. Realtors earn commissions for their services. Typically, that commission runs between 5 and 7%. Realtors actually do afford all the costs, including experience and expertise, and only if the property sells are they reimbursed. So they are incurring some risk and cost you might otherwise be paying anyway if you intend to go for sale by owner. Be careful when preparing your home for sale. An agent can walk through your home before you list it and tell you if you should do any repairs or renovations, and if you should try selling as is. Be selective when determining upgrades and associated costs. For example, you might assume you need to install new countertops before you list your home, which could cost thousands of dollars. A knowledgeable real estate agent might point out that houses in your neighborhood are selling quickly without any repairs or upgrades. So it might not be worth spending the money on major upgrades like new countertops. Now, This does not mean that you cannot educate yourself on this issue. You can. Go to Realtor.com or Zillow or even my own website and start looking at homes that you think are in your price range and start looking at the interiors and start comparing those to your own. If you elect to sell without an agent, I would strongly advocate for a pre-listing home inspection. The likelihood of the buyer doing their own during their own due diligence period is pretty great. Getting your own prior to listing will help you mitigate what the buyer's agent identifies and will help you plan ahead of any repairs needed or items being that will be negotiated. Speaking of negotiating, some folks just don't like the conflict that is occasionally associated with negotiations, especially when it might occasionally involve the criticism of their family home. Some others don't like it because they feel too great a sense of uncertainty, not knowing the boundaries or what is or is not required. Other folks are not intimidated by this at all. For me, and remember it needs to be this way for you too, it is a business transaction. For me, I've been negotiating for years. It is not a skill that just happens, but it's a skill that's developed over time. You will at some time, when dealing with real estate, need to negotiate. And working with someone who is a good negotiator is more than worth the commission you might pay. So my advice to you is be prepared. Go slow. And if you don't know what to say or do, there's nothing wrong with putting everything on hold until you are comfortable responding. This is Rick Miller, and thank you for watching my Jedico Properties YouTube channel. Remember to subscribe. New topics are posted weekly. And let me hear from you. I love your feedback. And watch for more for sale by owner videos that include more great insider information so you can have a successful for sale by owner experience. And until then, if you're looking to sell, good luck with your sale. And if you're looking to buy, well, happy house hunting.